Today we're looking at the Birdsville, which is one of their more open motorhomes. The Birdsville is made of Birdsville because it's got a rear ensuite. So there's two floor plans, one with this massive slide out, which I really like, and another one with a drop down bed, which I'm not as big a fan of. This, if you're going to get a Birdsville, is the pick of the floor plans. It's based on a Fiat Ducato, so the Ducato it's a bit of an aging chassis at the moment. It's sort of being overtaken by things like the Sprinter or the Iveco Daily, but it still drives really good. It's got a bit of a sort of a clunky automated manual gearbox, so it computer changes gears for you, and it's not quite as good as someone with a foot and a clutch. But apart from that, it's got great power, it's really good on fuel, aircon, cruise control, Bluetooth. I mean, you're pretty comfortable up there. Fairly upright, but I actually quite like the seating position in there. The motorhome body built by Avida is really stunning. It's the highlight of this. Their workmanship and sort of attention to quality design is spectacular, and it's really taken a step forward since they changed their name to Avida. They've sort of built almost a really luxury feel about their motorhomes without sort of that luxury price tag. Things that I really like about this over the other floor plan is that island bed. It just means that you're not, when it's set up, your access to the rear ensuite isn't blocked, which was my biggest bugbear of the other one. That once the bed was set up, your access to the back was blocked. It meant either putting the bed up or climbing over it, which is not ideal. The payoff is that in this one, when the bed isn't set up, your access to the ensuite is blocked. But considering that's usually only when you're driving, that's far less time with that walkway blocked. It also means you've got like a really long kitchen in this one. So we've got a drop down bench bit there, and the counter stretches all the way to the back, as you can see. So there's just heaps of room in here. I mean, you could have a shindig in the middle of this space. It's not like being in a motorhome at all. Motorhomes are supposed to be narrow and squashy. This has got it all wrong, obviously. There's still a Luton bed up the top. There seems to be a trend away from these at the moment. Maybe for aesthetics, another one maybe for fuel economy, but motorhomes, they're going to use more fuel than a normal car anyway, so I don't know how much fuel you're actually saving by getting rid of the Luton bed. So it's really good to see that Avida are keeping it, because even if you don't sleep up there, that's damn good storage, and storage always comes in handy. There's also, like, talking storage, there's rate storage outside, so there's a big boot just at the door here, which you can put hoses and cords and stuff like that, and at the backs there's little lift up flaps which are good for ramps and chocks and other things, stuff that you use outside. You can chuck your chairs in there. As far as updates for this model year, we've lost all the handles off the overhead cupboards, so there's just a little latch under here. It's a much cleaner look, and so they've also updated the colour schemes. They've got rid of sort of the more obvious timbers, and now they're a bit cleaner, a bit I don't know how you call it, modern. I'm just going to call it modern. They've also moved all of the electronics and all of the switches into one panel just above the door, and that's one centralizes all of your controls. So the slide outs up there, you're turning on your water, your power, monitoring your batteries. The main light switches are up there. A lot of these individual lights have their own switches. The main lighting, which is all sort of shadow lighting around the top, is all up there. So is the radio, the air conditioner, everything in the one spot, so you're not madly searching for switches. Up the back in the ensuite, it's full width, which means it's one of the biggest ensuites in a motorhome, because motorhome ensuites are usually just behind me here. They're often combined, or if they're not, they're lengthways, and so you're sort of restricted a little bit on space. Up the back there, it means there's space for a washing machine, you've got a ceramic basin, plenty of space around the toilet, and quite a big shower cubicle. So it's pretty comfortable up there, as it is in all of the van. Could this be improved in any way? Only by Fiat. Fiat really need to work on their transmission, like actually put a proper automatic in rather than the crappy manualised auto or automated manual, whatever it is. Comfortmatic, it's anything but. If Fiat could update that, then it would make it a spectacular motorhome. At the moment it is exceptional. It's really comfortable, it's quite good to drive, it's easy to use, there's heaps of space in here, heaps of storage. So, I mean, Avida, they've done a spectacular job really.